some work-related issues, and so we probably don't have him for the whole segment this morning, but we did want to get him on here, and I'll get out of the way because he's got some things to share with us. Good morning.
How you doing, Todd?
Wonderful, wonderful. If there's when you need to go, you just tell me, and you can go, okay?
Yeah, we'll give you a few minutes here, I'm sure.
All right, terrific. So I wanted to ask you about off-season preparations, if you will, for the upcoming school year. It's not that far away from now. Here we are at the end of July, and we're just a few weeks away from the start of a new school year.
We are. Student scheduling, I'm close to wrapping that up, and we had elementary had their ABCs and Me, where we try to do an orientation for incoming kindergartners. We have extended school year going, but like you said, we have an HVAC project going at Homer Center this summer, so we're on schedule to be ready to have some nice cooling and heating for our Wildcats coming up this year. So those things are happening, but probably the biggest thing that we do in the summer is that's why I'm participating in right now. We are interviewing. We've had some teachers that have, left the district to go to different things, and so we're in the process of interviewing some candidates for some positions that we have, and that's kind of on a little break from that right this moment, and so that's what we're working on currently.
How many positions are you looking at filling?
We had one in the elementary, and then we have two in the high school. And we look at it this way. I mean, obviously, people, when I came to Homer Center, I left another district, so I don't look at it as a negative thing. I look at it as, people are in a profession. They got to do what's right for them personally and professionally, and we certainly idly support that big time. And so, even though we might lose some people that are pretty crucial to what we do at Homer Center, I also look at it as an opportunity for us to even take it a step further and grow, and so we look at it as a positive to try to go through and, look at our candidates and try to pick that person that's going to help us go further than we already have.
Yeah, one of the interesting things to me is that when you get into a certain school district level, there seems to be a certain personality that seems to fit one school district that maybe isn't the perfect fit for another school district. And so you have the typical Homer Center experience of when you walk into one of the classrooms there or you talk to one of the teachers. And a lot of the times it has to do with really putting on that positive attitude and sort of opening up students' eyes and their hearts to what really can be a great experience for them in their education. And I know that you strive to find teachers who emphasize those positive things.
I like to say it this way, Todd. It says Homer Center, where everybody is somebody. That's kind of our tagline. And that's just not something that sounds good. It's something that I embrace and I think the district embraces. And so what we're trying to find is someone that's going to be 100% fully engaged and involved and committed to our students. I mean, that's our number one thing that we look for is, trying to look at some intangibles to be like, obviously we want great teachers and people that, know their subject and have passion for their subject. But we kind of have a saying, if you can't reach, you can't teach, meaning that, relationships are the centerpiece of a lot of things that we do. When you find someone that that can build connections and relate to students and also deliver high-quality instruction and have the whole student at heart, that's somebody that we think that we value. We value those traits very much here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, in the summertime, there are certain things that you want to get done in terms of making the building prepared. And I know that work goes on even as you're doing the project there and things get torn up and moved around a little bit. You're still getting the rest of the building ready to go, and that means making modifications, making whatever repairs need to be made. That's important work. You got good people doing that.
Oh, yeah. Matt Wilson, Mookie Wilson, most people know him by as our facilities director, and those guys have had quite a task because we got projects in both the high school and elementary, and they have done a phenomenal job of working around and after and just, coordinating all that with the crews in here working on the HVAC project, our buildings will be looking good as they always do, and our classes will be ready to go for our kids and our teachers when they return.
Is there much work to do in terms of incorporating new curriculum, new practices from the teaching standpoint?
Yeah, obviously the biggest challenge we have this year is this is the first year for the Steel standards for science. And so that has been a lot of training the last few years and being ready to go. It's more of an approach, in my opinion, but we've put a lot of work into that, and our teachers still continue to get ready for that. That's probably the biggest as far as specific things of that nature. And every year we ask teachers to kind of go through and reflect and, where can we make some subtle changes and those types of things where, it's a blending of content and skills. If I know, I was a social studies teacher, so how do I deliver my content? But more importantly, how do I deliver those learning skills? How to problem solve, how to make inferences, how to form an opinion, how to be able to support my claims with evidence. And that's universal across all disciplines. So I think it's always trying to find the mix of making sure we're delivering content, but also, more importantly, we're helping kids develop their thinking skills.
Yeah, and an important aspect of everything that you do is getting the faculty to not only buy into a curriculum, but to contribute to and to add their thoughts and their ideas and whatever their approach might be in a particular discipline. And so that work goes on all through the summer months. We might think that the teachers have the summer off. That's not the case at all.
Well, I'd go through and say that's a continuous process, 12 months, every day, every year. I think it's something that, it's the difference between, I look at curriculum, it's a living and breathing documents, and it's not just the big fat door stopper that says, yeah, I'm covering all these things. It's actually more, in my mind, compacted unit issues and stuff like that. But I think it's always, anytime you deliver something, even if it's great, you're always looking, how can I make it better? And there's something in teaching people how to analyze that. Like, okay, something didn't go well. Why didn't it go well? Was it something that we just didn't deliver in an appropriate way? Is it something we thought we delivered that we didn't? It all circles back, in my mind, to the basics of a well-defined objective, a well-defined activities to help you learn that objective, and then assessing that. And if my students, this is what my students can or be able to do, and at the end of it, how am I checking to see if I taught them, if they can or know what I wanted them to do?
Jody Rainey is our guest this morning, Homer Center School District. I'm going to ask you to put on a different hat this time, and that is the Heritage Conference hat, and we'll catch up with Dan Pajak about this, but you do have a golf tournament coming up. Is this the second of those?
It is the second of ours, and this is really key. I really want to get out is, the Heritage Conference has done, I think, a tremendous job of doing a lot of things. Our mission to provide positive and enriching experiences for students. And, the more that we do, it costs money to do those things. And we have great sponsorships and partnerships with people, but this is just an effort to help us secure funding that we can continue to do what we do, but also enhance what we do and also bring in new initiatives. So Dan had this idea of a golf tournament. He's done a great job with it. And so that's the whole purpose. So we're asking people if you're a golf enthusiast, every dollar goes directly back to kids of our member schools. Okay, this isn't to go buy jackets and T-shirts and, for me to buy a Ferrari or something like that. Okay, that's okay.
What?
So, we need the money that we would raise off of a tournament, and so it's just like anything else. It's like we have a lot of great support for the Heritage Conference, and this is just an effort to help us raise a little more money so we can continue to provide what we do for students. But we also want to expand even further into other initiatives. Technology-based competitions, like we already do the robotics, but to look at those areas and kind of enhance those. We want to be inclusive for every student and have every student have a chance to explore something way beyond maybe what we can do in a classroom at an individual school and do things for kids collectively.
Yeah, absolutely. And so the tournament, the whens and the wheres?
It's Tom Run. I want to say August 17th, but you better ask Dan that question because I don't have the flyer in front of me right now, but I'm almost positive it's August 17th down at Tom's Run. There's some flyers and there's information on the Heritage Conference webpage, or not on the webpage, Heritage Conference Facebook page. There's also information on the or Homer Center's page, I know as well, for Facebook. So, and just different places we're trying to push and get that information out to.
Yeah, it is August the 17th at Tom's Run. Registration at 8:30, shotgun start at 10 a.m. We'll get all that information, and we will get Dan on the line with us as well and get all that information out for folks. Jody, I know that this has been a bit of an imposition on you this morning. Thanks so much.
Hey, no problem, Todd. You have a great one.
There's Jody Rainey, Homer Center Schools. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.